So this is what I'm working on. It's a Delta Shop Master. And let's see, the model of this one is the TP400LS. And what's happening when it's powered on, we don't have any blades turning and we don't have any of the drive rollers working. So evidently we've got an issue with a drive belt, I'm assuming. And so I'm going to see if I can get inside here. What we need to do is go in through this side panel and find the drive belt and see what kind of condition it's in and get it fixed. So let's get going. Well, first things, to get this side cover off, we have to remove the locking handle here. So let's get that off. Then we have two screws, one down here, one down here. We'll loosen those up, see if we can get this cover off. Then we should just be able to slide this out and down. Set that aside. And then our drive belt is underneath this cover. So we'll get it off. There's a couple of screws and this will slide off. The motor did run, so I'm assuming that the drive belt, which you can see it's gone, it's not even on here. So it's probably inside this little case. And there it is. There's our problem. Shredded. So, since I don't have one of these in stock, I'm going to jump out real quick and go get one ordered, and we will put it back in. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and inspect a little bit here, see what we've got. We've got some residual belt stuck in there. I'll get that all cleaned out. Some needle nose pliers, clean that out, and then we'll check, make sure everything looks like it's, yeah, that pulley's nice and smooth. See if we can find out any reason for that belt to have jumped and disintegrated. I don't see anything, so let's get the belt ordered. Okay, so I just found that by turning this pulley and looking underneath at the rollers are not moving. So the rollers are controlled by the opposite side. So I'm going to flip this thing around and let's get the opposite side out and see what the issue is. Okay, to get into this one, same situation. We need two screws out down here and this cover will come off, or it should come off. Okay, so we just slide down at the bottom and slide it down. And again, the drive mechanism for the rollers are underneath this cover. So we'll get this cover off. We have a screw here and one over here. So let's get those off. Okay, so let's take this off and see what we've got. Okay, so as this motor is turning on the other side, that drive pulley should be turning these chains, and these chains should in turn move our rollers. So it looks like something is stuck in there and probably caused extra friction that wasn't necessary and caused that belt to have some issues over there. So we're going to have to get in here and see what the problem is as far as why it's binding and why it's so hard to turn. I wouldn't think it should be that hard to turn. Okay, after finding just a little small piece of wood in there that was holding it up, I just turned on the other side and started spinning it, the pulley, and it does spin freely and the chain is turning, which in turn is turning the roller. So we're okay. It was just a little piece of wood that had it kind of jammed up. I will blow all of this out, get it all cleaned up, and we'll get that drive belt on and we should be good. Okay, so I have this all cleaned up and I'm going to get that part on order here in just a few minutes. I did want to point out to everyone here that this chain that they're using on this model is a regular bicycle chain. This is a 1/8 by 1/2 bicycle chain. It does have one unique thing though. It has what's called a half link in the chain to get the correct adjustment for it. But as far as buying a chain, they might say it's not available from Delta or whatever. You can use a standard bicycle chain. When I say standard, I mean like the old BMX bikes use. It's a 1/8 by 1/2, but you will have to remove the half link out of your old chain and put it into your new chain if you do have to replace one of those. I just thought I'd point that out to you. Let's go get that belt. So our belt showed up. Let's get this cover back on, get this all sewn up on this side. We'll put the belt on the other side. So let's get this ready. We have just these two screws and they're long screws to go all the way in. Okay, so now we get the other cover on. This cover, it slides in from the bottom. Then we have two small screws, one that goes here and one goes here. Get those in. Okay, so they're both in. We're just going to snug them down carefully so we don't crack the plastic cover. There we go. Now we'll flip this thing around and get the belt on the other side. Okay, so we're going to do this in this way. What we're going to do is we're going to start it up here on the small one first. And I know this is reverse threads, so I'm going to start it on the bottom here. I'm going to use my ratchet and get on this nut. And as I turn the whole pulley, it will walk that belt right up on that pulley. Now you can see it's starting to try to come off the top. So I'll just put a little bit of pressure on the top and push it over and it will file. It'll just find its way right back on that pulley and on this pulley. But using your wrench and turning the pulley to walk the belt up is much easier than trying to stretch the belt up. That's a little tip for you. Now we'll get the cover on and we'll try this thing. Okay, so first up is the cover for the pulleys. Again, two little screws. We'll put that on, get these little screws started, and they are very, very small. When you're doing this type of a thing, you want to be careful because you're working with a plastic cover, and it's really easy to over tighten this type of thing and crack the covers and so on. So you don't want to put lots of force on it. Okay, we're going to be putting the other cover on and the knob, and then we'll try this. Okay, in the same way, this will slide up from the bottom. Slide slide in at the bottom down here like this. Once we get lined up, 2 little screws. Okay, we'll get this side in, and again, not fully tighten, just run it in, and then finish with the snug. And don't crack your cover. Next up, we will put the cutter lock knob on. Okay, let's get the lock on. Okay, unlock, lock. We're all set. Let's set it up. Okay, here we go. And that sounds like we're back in business. Let's just run a quick board through, see what we've got. Okay, here, let's try a test. And we've got it. We're going to be putting some new blades on, but there we go. The belt's replaced. This kind of information helps you out any. You like the content, please like and subscribe to the video. Please use the links below if you need these kind of belts. If these tips I've given you helps, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.